Hello, welcome back to Flipping Motors UK. So today I'm going to do a bit of an update video, but I'm going up to Newcastle, pick up a bit of a banger really. Look, sounds cheap enough. See if it, hopefully it doesn't need too much and it'll make a cheap little car for someone. It's a little Polo on a 56 plate, so a bit older than I normally go for. But it's got the 1.4 TDI engine. Hasn't got that many owners and that, so hopefully it's been quite well looked after. MOT history, it's had lots of passing advices. So I'll see what it's like. Might have to end up doing a bit of work on the car. Only paid £350 after auction fees. That was about £560. Getting the car back, we're close to 600 quid. So hopefully it won't need too much, because I think it's about a 1250 quid car. But we'll see what we think when we get there. Well, a little cheapy Polo diesel made it back. But before we get into this, I wanted to show you one thing. So I've got someone coming to have a look at the Insignia. I don't know if you remember I mentioned a Megane that sold before it was even advertised. Yeah, nice straightforward sale, a referral off the couple of bought for your beefer, straight in there, and obviously I rewarded them for that as well, as I always do. £40 cash in hand. You've referred someone to buy one of my cars. Without you, I wouldn't have sold that car so quickly. So there you go. Insignia's looking absolutely great. Hopefully it's new keeper. Well, for people that are coming to see it, will be coming to new keeper, and hopefully they'll like the look of it. It looks absolutely fantastic. We've had the wings painted because they were coming through a bit rusty, and I think it's paid off. But really nice car inside and out. And whoever's come to see it, well, they shouldn't be disappointed. Let's hope they're just realistic on the price and so on. But little Polo, let's have a look around. So for starters, good news, it's made it back. I was a bit worried to start with. I'm going to show you why. It's going to need a bit of preparation, but hopefully we can still make a bit of money out of it. This is a bread and butter basic flip. There we are. I should have a little bit more space to wander around it now. Yaris is here out of the way. That's all ready. Do have a decision coming up on that start of this week, so hopefully that works in our favour. We have a little Polo 1.4 turbo diesel. So I think you could get these still in a 1.9 at this age. But this is a little 1.4. Probably sounds like a little tractor, to be honest, but be alright for someone, won't it? It's got scrapes. The headlights need a polish. The number plates are a bit old. 16 quid a set. I might do that depending how preparation goes. You do have to be very strict on cars like this, because like, as much as you don't want to under prep them, you can't over prep them or you won't make any money. Simple as that. The front discs are a little bit worn, you can feel that slightly, and the brake pad wear light was on. They don't look too bad, but I'm wondering if that is down to a bit of juddering on the disc. Sills, there's a little bit of surface corrosion starting around here. I don't know if you can see, there's certainly no holes or anything like that. Everywhere you tap, it's hard to do it with my left hand while I've got my phone in the other. It feels pretty solid, to be fair. I've done that on both sides, so I'm quite happy with that. Because if they were rotten, it's probably one for the scrapper, isn't it, really? It's a shame. Boot, that's open. It smells a bit doggy. There's obviously been a dog in there at some point. Get that all cleaned out. Boot struts, not the best, but the work. I don't think you can ask for much more on a car this age and price. There you go. So again, like I say, it's a little bit doggy inside. We do have a bit of history with it, but not loads. Air vent damaged. People know what I'm like, and I'll probably end up wanting to do something with that, but I need to know when to stop, don't you? As long as this car is mechanically okay and cosmetically presentable-ish, that's all it wants. And I think anyone that thinks otherwise, I'll put it this way, they wouldn't be paying £2 for it, would they? So there you go. Again, we've had a little bit of damage down here before, but it has been touched in, so I'm not worried about that. Inside, so we've got 103,476 on the clock. Seats could do with a good clean out, as can all the plastics. It's only a free owner car, which is good. Have I got keys on me? Might as well start this up, mightn't we? No, that's the Insignia key. Where have I put the keys? I'm going to go and grab them out the key safe. There we go. But before I do that, I was going to show you, so all the tyres seem alright, but again, you can see the discs are a bit scored there. I don't know if you can see that, but that spring is broken. You can hear it twisting and clanging about, so that is going to need attention. I'm sure it was the offside front where a drop link was advised as well, because you have to part remove the anti-roll bar link to remove the shocker and do the coil spring. Might as well do that as well if it's got slight movement, mightn't we? I think it's, you're probably looking at about £8 for a drop link on one of these, so that'll be getting done. I'll probably do the discs and pads just to save the 50 odd quid in labour, because, well, got to be strict with cars like this. Do what you can. There's very little profit in them to start with, especially if anything goes wrong. You're absolutely, well, you've got no way out, have you? Try and get this in one-handed. There we go. There you go. Proper dirty old little 1.4 TDI. It's filthy. It needs a good clean, but it runs, well, for one of these, all right. Like I say, they do sound a bit tractory. There's nothing nasty in the coolant. There's enough of it. Nothing nasty in the oil, I don't believe. It's got enough in. It is what it is, and it's simple as that. For the price this car be, so I paid $350 plus fees, which is 568 out the door, I believe it was. Getting it back, me train up there, Uber from the station to Newcastle BCA. To get it back, it was probably about 590 quid. Okay, so I want to keep that prep bill below 200 quid if possible. I've got to, in fact. Otherwise, it's pretty pointless, isn't it? We need at least 400 or 500 quid, even in a cheap car like this, to make it worthwhile. It's such a tough market. I'm probably doing what I shouldn't. I know a lot of you guys watch Budget Bangers as well. He's got a couple of slightly older cars. Well, it was a Mitsubishi and a Chevrolet, obviously not quite as common as a VW, but he's been struggling, so we'll have to see if this one does any better. But in its favour, it has got a diesel engine, which will do probably close to 70 miles per gallon. It's done nearly 40 mile on the way back, and the fuel needle hasn't even moved. Still got half a tank, so Mrs. will be happy we've got a new car for the week. There you go. Yes, that is what they are meant to sound like. The handbrake works and all, which is amazing for one of these. They're not the nicest sounding engine, but that's what they're meant to sound like. You can probably hear that spring there. Well, maybe over the noise of the engine, but yeah, it's got the brake pad wear light on. These do have front sensors for the pads. More than likely broken, isn't it? But the discs are a bit nasty, so we'll get them replaced anywhere. So we've got front discs and pads. We've got a front coil spring and anti-roll bar link. The other things that I've spotted is the heating only works on the 4th setting. Now on one of these, that means there's a little heater resistor behind the glove box. It means that needs replacing. Very, very common, so I will be getting that replaced. It's not very expensive. I think they're about a £10 online to buy. I'll probably have a go at doing it myself. It might take about an hour. You have to take out the glove box and part of the dashboard down here, but again, it's somewhere I can probably save £50 in labour. And like I say, if I can do it, I'm going to, and that's how it's so. You need a bit of mechanical knowledge to be flipping cars like this. Like, yes, I'm not going to be getting my hands dirty and, well, risking my front teeth to do the spring, but they've got. I couldn't do it without that. You know, like if I had to do the spring, if I had to do the brakes, the resistor, and get someone else to diagnose the fact that the windows aren't going up or down, might be a switch, might be a fuse. There's an extra £150 in labour. At least. Where's your profit going to be? It's just not there, is it? So you have to be so cautious doing cars like this. And yes, I'm going to have to look into them as well and find out why they're not working. May carry on it on this video. I may show you on another. There you go, mileage 103,476. There's plenty of life left in this one yet, and it's worth saving from the scrapyard in my opinion. He might put it on the ramp, he might have something else to say. If that is the case, we'll probably have to have a rethink, won't we? But hopefully we can save this little car. It doesn't owe us a massive amount of, well, owe me a massive amount of money, but like I say, the engine's quite low mileage really for one of these. You see them all the time for sale with 150, 160k on them. So at 103k you could probably sell this as a low mileage car. And like I say, with that £35 tax, that's a massive thing as well. It really does go a long way. And speaking of tax, that brings me to the little Yaris. So I've only had, well, I had I think a Polish couple that came to see this and wanted a local mechanic who works in the next yard up, quite popular in the Polish community, to have a look. I know he's quite reputable. So I says, look, if you want him to check that car over before you buy it, you're welcome to. You won't find anything wrong with it. My mechanic heavily complimented it. He says there's absolutely nothing wrong with that car. So I can't see that going wrong, even if I do bring it for him to have a little look. However, I did have two other inquiries. The first one was it was an African man, and he called up off the Auto Trader, tried to offer me £2,000 for it, which I was slightly offended by, and then he asked what the tax was on it. So I told him, I says, it's £160 per year, and I think he nearly had a heart attack. So this and that, the phone call ended pretty prematurely, and wait for the next phone call. A couple of days later, another man rings. African man, actually. Actually, no, he messaged. He messaged on Facebook Marketplace and asked for my number so he could speak to me. Okay, I'll show you this car while I'm talking. Nice and tidy. So he called and he had a question. So he says, how much is the tax? So guess what? I told him it was £160 a year. It was a different fella, I do believe, as well. Different phone number anyway. And he also nearly had a heart attack, and I explained to him, I says, you really need a diesel car if you want something that's £35 a year or £20 a year, like for a little Polo. He's like, right, okay. And he says, I'll get back to you. Obviously wasn't expecting anything. However, he sent me a message a couple of days later. He did get back in touch with me. Do you know what the message said? How much is the tax per year? So I told him again, but I don't think he liked the answer because he never got back to us. But there you go. You have to deal with that. You get a lot of people messing about and silly questions, or what you might think are silly questions. But all I say is always be respectful to people. Tell them what they want to know. And I'm sure, you'll get somewhere with them. But yeah, little Polo, what do you think of this? I can't say if it's a good or bad buy yet. It's still going to go on the ramp, whether it's a £1,250 car or not. But I think for the money, it's fantastic. It'll be getting a very good clip. I honestly think a Bath, I'll see a nice little car out of this. Honestly. It makes such a change. Just all the dirt you see like around here, it just builds up over time and just makes it look neglected. Get it nice and clean. Same around here, same around the door shuts, boot shuts, petrol flap, bonnet, which you can see is a bit grimy. A little hand polish. I'll probably spend 3 or 4 hours valeting this car, and honestly, it'll be a different car. See, I wouldn't just do that. I know some people do just shot a bucket of water over them, but obviously we've got a spring to attend to, some brake discs and pads, obviously safety related things, and a couple of little niggles inside that we need to sort to see a nicer car. Am I undervaluing it at 1,250? Some people might say yes, but ultimately in the northeast, it's difficult. There's so many people out there trying to, I'm not saying they all prepare cars to the same standard, because some probably would just sell it as it is, but you've got to be competitive as well as being the best out there, the best photos, the best preparation standards, the best valets, the nicest person when they ring up and inquire if there's any wiggle room or whatever on the asking price. You just got to be nice to people. It's as simple as that. I always used to say, obviously I'm from a sales background. I did about, was it 3 years, something like that? Just be the person they want you to be is what I've always thought of, really. You're not going to talk, if a very posh older gentleman comes, you're not going to talk to him the same way as you're going to talk to a slightly chavvy young lad, are you? So it's just being able to adapt to different people and appeal that car to them. You appeal, that's something you learn on your training in a lot of different sales things. Feature, action, benefit. I know some of my old colleagues are going to be laughing now. Don't worry, I'm not going to start with a 9 square grid, but yeah. So this little Polo will make a good car for someone, and what I might do is I think I'm going to do another video showing you how I get it prepared and how it turns out, and then you tell me if you'd pay 1,250 quid or refer someone to pay 1,250 quid. And genuinely, I know obviously the subscribers at the bottom end of the country, I was having a look, there's people in Ireland, Australia, the United States. If your word of mouth leads to a sale, I'll bank transfer anyone 40 quid. Okay, just because I wouldn't have had that sale without that, and I massively appreciate it. Without sales, I'm not paying my bills, am I? Hopefully this Polo won't hang around. And like I say, we've got someone coming for the Insignia. Hopefully good news with that. It's a lovely looking car. It really is, and it drives lovely as well. Okay, the van's still hanging around, so I'm making my mind up what to do on that. And then we've got this Golf GTI. It's about done now. A couple of dents I want to get taken out. A couple of little touch-ins, good valet, and she's ready to go. Really, really nice car, this one. I've been enjoying driving it. Not quite as quick as I thought they were back in the day, but the handling, I tell you what, it handles like it's on rails. Really been enjoying that, and I will take it for one final drive before it does go up for sale and get valeted and so on. But yeah, little Polo. If it's your first video watching, thank you very much, do appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be able to like and subscribe so you can see more similar content or a couple of updates on this car and any of the other lovely cars we have in as well. This one's gorgeous. I don't know if it hasn't sold. It's only been on about a week or so, but what a lovely, lovely car that is. And yeah, still got plenty to do. Volvo's about ready to pick up, so that's pretty much just a valet away as well. I'll give that a test drive for a couple of days as well, make sure it's all good for the new owner. And yeah, thank you all again. I'll catch up with you on the next video. See you later.